Hi all, I am Sourabh Singh, in-house expert for mathematics in askIITians. I have been associated with askIITians for last 4 years and I am Bachelor's in Technology from IIT Patna. So in this part of probability which we are going to discuss, I'll show you a video, and in this video I'll let you examine all the different traits that is being explained and showed by the man in the white car and the woman in the red car. So just watch this video and we'll meet after the video. Are you going to clear the IIT-JEE examination? The very first question. Are you going to be successful in your life? The very second question. Are you going to understand and do the questions of probability? Again, a question. So all these answers and the questions which I am asking to you right now will depend upon the probability of success which you are going to have depending upon the various factors. So the most important thing in this world is the probability. So we are going to discuss the chapter of probability and deal with the various mathematical formulas and concepts that we can learn in this chapter. So let's start with the very first thing, and that is random experiment. In this part, we'll go with the definition, the nuances, the mathematical explanation and insertion of different formulas and quantities into the various English terms of mathematics which we use in probability. So stay tuned for this. Hi all, welcome back to askIITians. In this video lecture, we are going to deal with a chapter which is very prominent in terms of mathematics, in terms of daily applications and rest other things. So what is this chapter? See, this is a chapter which will help you about taking decisions, which decision is how much right and which one is how much wrong. So how do we deal on to that? We deal with fairly chances. What are the chances of doing thing X and what are the chances of doing a thing Y? So how do we be sure that whatever we are doing is accurate, is most optimized for us? That we will learn in chapter of probability. So hence, this is a chapter of probability in which for the very start we will learn some basic concepts, and after we have learned them, we will apply them into the most basic theorems and applications of those. So let's start with the chapter. First of all, I'll tell you what are the basic nuances of this chapter and how we're going to deal with this. So let's start with the topics. In the topics, we'll first of all do the random experiment and then events and sample space. After that, we'll go for definition. After that, we'll have algebra of events. So let's do the random experiment. First of all, let's see what a random experiment is. A random experiment is an action or process that leads to one of the several outcomes or several possible outcomes. So what do we get by this? A random experiment, suppose you throw up a die. Whenever you are doing something, and if that is going to get you certain results which are well predefined, we call them a random experiment, right? Suppose you are walking. If you are walking, you are going to a destination, which means walking is a random experiment. If you are doing a mathematics problem, even though you will get the answer or you may not get the answer, that is a random experiment, because either by the way, there is an output which is defined if you are doing any activity. So let's see. First of all, if you do experiment by flipping a coin, so in what different ways a coin can give us the outputs? Those outputs can be heads or tails. So flipping a coin, we can opt out for a head or we can opt out for a tail. There won't be a situation in which you'll see the coin is standing vertically, right? It is
impossible to happen if that experiment is a random experiment. Next, exam marks. If you are so intelligent, you might range within 90 to 100, but if you are more than intelligent, you will be hovering around single digit numbers, because you might be thinking that the paper is not so good, not up to your level. Assembly time. Suppose if we have to gather for certain assembly, and that time can be greater than 0, can be equal to 0 for different situations. Suppose if you have been on time and the assembly starts, so the time will start from t equal to 0. Suppose if you are late, time will start from greater than 0, and suppose if you are so dedicated and you come early, time will start with negative. Course grades. If you go into higher studies or classes, you will see that the grades that you might be getting will be terms of this: F, D, C, B, A plus. And nomenclature is very easy. F, I think, stands for fail. D for the you need very huge amount of improvement. C, kind of average. B, you're doing good. A, well done. A plus, extraordinary. So see, these are the certain experiments or the certain things that we do in which outcome is specific. So that is exactly what the random experiment is. Even though we are doing something that comes in part of experiment and the output is not so specific on our side, that's why this is known as random experiment. So see, let's do an example. I have listed an event, and the event of that outcome is called a sample space, right? So if you are doing a certain random experiment and we get out 2, 3 or 4 different kinds of output, all the collection of those outputs will be called as sample space, and the outcomes are called the simple events. So the list of the outcome that I have considered, it must be exhaustive. And what does that mean? That simply means that if suppose I am throwing up a die, the all possible situations can arise will be from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Apart from this, I cannot get a -1 and I cannot get a number which is more than 6. So this means exhaustive. Exhaustive is the set in which we have included all the possible outcomes. This is what it exactly says. If I am rolling a die, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cannot be the set of exhaustive sets. Rather than a die roll can be considered an exhaustive set if I'll consider all the elements that are going to be in its sample space. So let's see, die roll, this becomes cross, and this is the exact and correct answer. Another thing, the list must be mutually exclusive. So what does this mean? Mutually exclusive defines a condition in which suppose A and B are the two things that are bound to happen. So if A is happening, B is not going to happen, and if B is happening, A is not going to happen. Consider a flipping of a coin. So if I am flipping a coin, what I can expect? Flipping of a coin can either give me a head or a tail. But as soon as I encounter that the flipping of a coin is resulting into a head, the tail will automatically be banished out. So this is what is the condition of mutually exclusive. If one is happening, it will banter the occurrence of the other. So let's see with an example. Die roll, we rolled a die, odd number or an even number. So what will be the odd number? Odd numbers can be 1, 3 and 5. An even number can be 2, 4 and 6. Right? If I am rolling a die, yes, it is possible. If odd number is going to come, even number will never come, and if even number is going to come, odd number will cease to exist. Second example, die roll, number less than 4 or an even number. So what is the number of possible answers that we can get in number less than 4? Number less than 4 will be 1, 2, 3. An even number will be 2, 4 and 6. See, 2 is common in both of them, which means if 2 occurs, I cannot be very sure whether it has occurred into the number less than 4 or an even number. So that is why you lose the potential of having a mutually exclusive event, and hence it will defy the existence of random experiment.
So in this part, we have learnt the random experiment, the mathematical definition and the pure understanding. So we have done the very basic concept in probability, with which we just start understanding the concepts. In the next coming parts, we are going to learn sample space, conditional probability, total probability theorem, these things. So stay tuned for the next part.